Greetings, upperclassmen of Jefferson High School. This is Principal Anderson here with your handbook review video for grades 11 and 12 for the 2017-2018 school year. Many of you seniors may still remember some of this from last year. Juniors, this will be new. It's a new video for you, but a lot of the topics that have been important as a 9th and 10th grader are still important as 11th and 12th grader, perhaps with a slightly different spin on it. First and foremost, we're just very excited for you to be back here at school. We're excited for a really positive school year at Jefferson High, where we're really excited to see what you can do. We're excited to work with you, and we're just hopeful for a really positive start to this year, and we're going to just have a really great 2017-2018. Again, the full version of the student handbook is online. It's on the JHS website. The presentation that we have right now is just sort of a few of the highlights. There are a few of the things that either were changed or were updated, or are things that kind of come up a lot. So it's not the whole handbook, but you are responsible for knowing what's involved in the handbook, and we're all held to some of those standards in the handbook. So make sure when you have time, you review that website. Jefferson administration is not changed from last year. It was my second year as principal here. Excited for year 2. Mr. Hall and Ms. Jarvis are assistant principals. One change is that Mr. Hall and Ms. Jarvis are taking over half the alphabet each for working with students, both positively and potentially with disciplinary issues if need be. But Mr. Musil, as the Dean of Students, is taking on a larger role with student intervention, and he now has all students in the school underneath his purview. Mr. Nyberg is our activities director, works with students in athletics and activities and arts, so he's your resource for that. The big focus for upperclassmen here at Jefferson High School is that idea that you are leaders and role models in the school. The younger students look up to you, they pattern themselves after you, they model themselves after you, they look up to you. So we ask, if nothing else, for our upperclassmen that you be you're really cognizant of that other people are watching and are looking up to what you do. So we ask that you be positive leaders and role models at Jefferson High School. You lead by example. You represent Jaguar Nation for the great place that it is, and that you really carry that torch from the great classes that have already graduated, and that you will be the next great class of Jefferson High School. This one we review every year just to refresh it. Academic integrity, aka cheating. It's an important thing at high school, and it's going to be an important thing at college. And it's really important that you recognize the boundary and the line between either studying or collaborating with another student, and when that turns into cheating. I'm not going to read over all the bullets. You're certainly welcome to review that in the handbook online. But basically, if you're unsure of whether or not it's cheating or it's not, ask your teacher. If you're unsure, it's probably not acceptable. And another piece really is that if you're a part of an electronic chain, whether or not you were the person who, let's say, took a photo of a test, but if you are anywhere part of that chain of receiving and forwarding it on, you are going to be linked into this policy. So just be smart, be safe. If something comes to your attention, it's just best to ask the teacher and get ahead of it. There are severe consequences for cheating or violating the academic integrity rule, and can definitely depend on which level, if it's your first violation or second violation. But there are severe consequences, and just by and large, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So do your own work, keep your eyes on your own paper, all that good stuff, but just really focus on your work. And if you have any questions about this, ask your teacher. Another thing that we cover every year, it's just electronic devices. It's the Chromebooks, it's the cell phones. All those things are tools. They're great. They're great things to use to help you with your education and be connected to our world. But really, they have the potential, as we all know, for distraction, for drama, or for disruption. So the teachers and the administrators, we all reserve the right to help you make good choices. Our role as educators is to conduct and maintain a safe environment and a positive learning environment for all students. And if a particular student's electronic device is interfering with other students' learning, based on our judgment, we will get involved with that. So, be smart about your electronic devices. definitely use them for all the powerful things that they need to be used for, but just know when to turn it down. The idea as you get older and older is that you make judgment calls on when is appropriate, when is inappropriate. Because as you get older, there's not going to necessarily be rules, preventing you from having your cell phone, for example. But there will be times when you need to make the decision and the judgment call of when to put it down, when's the right time, when's not the right time. So we ask you to work on that and practice that now. Connected to the technology and the electronic devices is social media. Everyone, is not everyone. Most of us are connected somehow on social media and digitally. The just things that we like to refresh students on is that if there are any issues with social media, it can become a school issue even if it doesn't occur during the school day. So, for example, if someone sends tweet or snaps or something like that at night, but it creates drama in the school, we as the administrators will get involved in that. So anything that causes a disruption to the school environment is under our authority to get involved with. Also, there could be Minnesota State High School League rules violations if you are an athlete or involved in an activity. So just be smart with your social media, and just remember that anything you put out there it's there forever. Even Snapchat, which is supposed to disappear, as we all know, can easily come back to haunt you. So just remember that anything you publish and post online can be there forever. It can often come back to haunt you at the worst times if you're not careful. So just be smart with social media. We know everyone does it. I'm not telling you not to do it, but just be smart about it. Bullying, we cover a lot, for younger students. We just want to refresh that intimidating or creating an unsafe environment for any other students is absolutely unacceptable. And we as teachers and administrators will get involved if any student is making the learning environment uncomfortable for anyone else. Don't do it. Be nice. Search, another one is this is not a new one, but we just like to remind and refresh students that if we suspect that you may have something that you should not have, we do have the authority to conduct a search. We ask that you cooperate. Failure to cooperate is a consequence in and of itself. But anytime a student either comes into school and they weren't supposed to be gone in the first place, they may be searched. Anytime a student is suspected or is we have reasonable suspicion that they may have something that they shouldn't have, we can search. All those things are definitely allowed under district and state law. Hall passes, again, if you were here last year, nothing new. New lanyards. Just make sure you have your lanyard when you're in the hall, one student at a time. When you have your lanyard, when you wear it around your neck or it's somewhere where it's visible, you should have a pretty safe travels in the hall. Tardies, again, just be on time to class. It's really super simple, and it's really not any more complicated than that. If you're on time to class, we're not going to have an issue with this. Tardies and unexcused absences, as you know, can build up to further and further consequences. They can build up to credit loss. They can build up to challenges and frustrations in the class itself. Be on time, and we will not have a problem. And if you're late and you get caught being late in a hall pass, or you get caught being late by your teacher, don't throw a fit. You were the one who got caught late for whatever the reason might be, good, valid, or not. Just handle your business. You're old enough now to start really focusing on managing your own time. So we're asking that you just be on time. And if somehow, for some reason, that doesn't happen, accept the natural consequences that come with it. Be in time. Talk to your teacher. Talk to a hall supervisor. Talk to an admin if you've got any questions about tardiness or unexcused absences. Lunch detention is back every day in all 3 lunches. Lunch detention is our pretty standard kind of first tier consequence. It could be a consequence for tardies. It could be consequence for truancy. It could be consequence for maybe low level misbehavior type stuff. But lunch detention is still our daily consequence. If you get a slip, a pass for lunch detention, arrive on time. If you are late and it says more than 5 minutes late, not only do you have to stay there, but it doesn't even count. So just be there, take care of your business. It's not, lunch detention is not necessarily the end of the world, but it's something that we start documenting that there was some kind of rule violation, whether or not it's small, medium, or large. We ask that you take care of your business, and if you get lunch detention, it's in the dance studio right by the cafeteria, so it's really close. Talk to hall supervisors if you have any questions on lunch detention, but if you skip it, you get added more on. So just take care of it. Number 1, don't get it in the first place, but 2, if you do, just take care of it. Dropping and adding course. I sent emails out to parents and to students this fall. The only thing we changed about dropping and adding courses is number one, two things. Number one, there's no study hall, so that's no longer an option. And two, you only have 2 days to switch a course for another course. After that, you're going to have to work with your counselor or administrator to find an option. Anything after 10 days, and this is a key part, and I'll highlight it if I can find it, but anything after 10 days, there it is at the bottom, any drops after 10 days for any reason turn to an F on your transcript. So basically, it's register smartly, be very careful when you register for courses, and then as you get into a trimester and it's challenging, ask for help, ask for support early on. Dropping a course is less and less an option. Many of you have seen and many of you noticed we've got brand new design in our Jefferson Commons area, the Flag Hall and Flex Hall. Brand new spaces that are going to be used for educational use. Number one, it was a very expensive project, so please treat everything respectfully. You're allowed to move some of the furniture, but all we ask is that you move it back. And just treat it properly. If you clean, if you spill something, clean it up, please. Don't mishandle it in any sort of way. Your teacher will direct you in how to use it. Your teacher will direct you to the flex space, whether it's a specific area in flex space or just in the commons in general. But the teacher will direct it. But it's free for you to use in passing times and before schools and after schools, or if you have any sort of time to work on schoolwork. That is definitely an area that you are encouraged to use academically. Testing room is still down in C16. The only real change there's 2 real changes that you need to be aware of is number one, there's no more drop-in testing in the morning. Most students didn't use it anyway, so we shifted the hours a little bit later. So drop-ins are after school only. Please work with Ms. Stembeck on any questions with drop-ins and for testing. The other change is that if you miss your appointment and if you have an appointment during the school day and you miss it, you cannot just show up another time during the school day. You have to come either after school or make a new appointment with your teacher. And that generally 2 weeks is your time limit. If you don't make up your test within 2 weeks, it'll be returned to the teacher, and the teacher can decide what to do after that. Leaving school early, just another reminder, there's nothing new here. If you're sick, if you've got an appointment, just make sure you sign in and sign out with the nurse's office or the attendance office. It is very important that we document all this properly so your attendance is marked accurately, so we communicate with your parents accurately. Have your parents call the attendance line here. Check in and check out at the appropriate places. Most of you, upper class, you know how to do this or know where it is. Again, ask questions if any of this doesn't make sense. But don't just walk out the building. Don't just walk out the door. Make sure you follow the right procedures so everything gets marked accurately. Behaviors. Again, we have a rubric on our webpage in the handbooks section. But it's follow the rules. Be a good citizen. Be a good Jaguar, and we'll be good. Misbehavior, anything that creates a disruption for the school environment is just not going to be allowed and will be consequenced. Again, Jefferson After Hours still exists. It is a great program with NHS tutors in our media center. Either it's a good place to get your homework done, another place just to get some stuff finished afterwards, and another place to get some support if you're struggling with some of your academics. Finishing up, we did shift the counselor alpha just a little bit to balance them up. Most of it's the same. Some of you will experience changes, many of you will not. But we did shift the counselor alpha a little bit. So make sure you know who your counselor is. Should be on your schedule. But that office and those counselors are always here to assist you. All in all, again, it's kind of coming full circle, is that you're being charged with leaving a positive legacy. Whether it's in the classroom, whether it's on the athletic field, whether it's in the hallways, you're being charged with being a class and a group of students that we remember fondly, that we welcome back when you come back to visit for your 5-year reunion, your 10-year reunion, and so forth. Leave a positive legacy. Leave Jefferson High better than you found it, because that's our mission and that's what it means to be a good citizen and a good member of this community. So we are so appreciative of your attention. Again, it's just that standard. If you have any questions, please ask someone. We are more than happy and willing to help you. Have a great day, have a great week, and have a great year, Jaguar Nation.